Welcome back, everybody. We are now in round 5 of the
Yep.
One Piece Arlington IRL Regional. We've seen a lot of interesting matches today, and now we've got a throwback. We've got Red Luffy versus Green Kid.
Yeah, some set one battle here.
Some set one battle indeed.
We just saw Odin versus Magellan. Crazy, pretty nuts match. I mean, it was just really interesting to watch. Like,
Yep. Very back and forth.
We call it like tier fun. You know, decks you like to play, but they might not be the best. Here we have Kid. Again, set one staple. Still has a little bit of life in set two versus Luffy, which is actually just more recently gaining popularity.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and switch over.
There we go.
We see Kid versus Luffy. All right, we're going to see Beige come up first.
There we go. Pretty typical. Yeah, play one drop. You know, again, you want to. I think you want to see like a searcher turn one. That way you can kind of like set it up for the next turn. You know, you can spin your Dawn a little better by searching a card and then playing something else.
Now we see Nami coming down. Swag Nami usually gets a Swag Zoro. We've seen that time and time again.
Time and time again. And we're just getting a Luffy.
Luffy this
pretty
time.
good.
Yep, pretty good. Now, Red Luffy, pretty juggernaut of the format kind of deck right now. We're seeing a lot of people on this deck. A lot of people really appreciating the flexibility of the Dawn that you get with this leader.
Yeah. So we saw, like, at the beginning of the format, Zoro, and then we saw Strawbeard crop up to deal with Zoro, and now we're seeing Luffy pop back up because Luffy can do a lot of things well against the other red decks.
Yep.
One of my favorite Luffy plays is back-to-back 9-drop, right? Using your leader's ability, you can equip one to your first Whitebeard. You can equip your last remaining Dawn to the Whitebeard and still get his effect to KO something at 3 or less. So you can do a lot of really big power plays.
Yes, you can. All right. So we're going to go ahead and see Luffy goes to 4 Dawn here. It looks like Red Hawk in the hands. That's the only thing I could see offhand there.
There we go.
We got a Robin coming down.
Nico Robin. We're just going to swing here.
Yep, Nico Robin, and then we swing for 6.
There you go. Yep.
And you know, damage goes through.
One of the best things about Luffy's ability is that you get to use it every single turn.
Every single turn of the game.
Out of every leader that exists in this game, we are getting mileage out of this Luffy leader.
Absolutely. The only concern that you can have with Luffy is that he incentivizes you to play cards before attacking.
Yeah.
Which can get you into a kerfuffle, if you will.
Some of them shield triggers can punish you, but, you know.
Yep. We've seen that today, too.
We have, yep. Here we go, 7 at the leader.
Yep. Got a double blocker on the board, 7 at the leader. Pretty slow start.
Yeah.
For both of them. Is that a new gate that we just got off of the life? It kind of looked like a 9.
A little hard to see. All right. And we're actually going to go 7 again.
Okay, we're getting in there.
And a Radical, which is now live. We're at 2 life. Now we got a full power Radical Beam here.
Absolutely. We got Nico Robin is going to get a good bit of value here.
Yep. Nico Robin's going to get a good bit of value. We also, what we really want to see here is we want to spend 4 Dawn. That way we can leave 2 up for our Red Hawk. That way we can equip something to equip a Dawn to our Nico Robin with our leader effect.
Yep.
And just push as hard as we can while also leaving up Red Hawk to get rid of any other blockers that we may have.
So we're just going to see, again, we're kind of waiting to play the card. You don't really want to get punished right now. Punk Gibson could be a huge punish in the right situation.
All right, we're going to see 5-5.
All right. Kid is taking a lot of early damage here. And deciding it's time to go ahead and start defending. We need to slow this down a little bit.
Let's see. All right, we're going to play Zoro.
Zoro rested already.
Using our leader's ability.
Yep. Beautiful sequencing on Luffy's
Great
side
sequencing,
there. Definitely how you play around a lot of shield triggers there.
Exactly,
He knew he was going to put the Dawn on the Zoro, so it was good to just wait.
Okay, and we're going to Makino our Nami up to 5, and we're going to equip it up to 6. And I agree. You don't necessarily need to leave anything up for Red Hawk here because your opponent, I would not expect my opponent to play into it. And I'm facing a clear board. So it's going to be hard. You know, look, do I clear Robin? Do I clear Makino? Do I kill Nami, Zoro? Without something like a killer or an X-Drake, like it's going to be hard to really clear anything off this board meaningful, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, you're not against purple. This is an empty green board. So you have to have specific cards. And they're Dawn intensive cards.
Absolutely,
It is going to be costly.
Yep, and you know
if they don't have it,
Exactly. Yep, and you know, I mean, and you can just follow up this huge aggressive play with a new gate once that's over. You know.
Absolutely.
Once you're done being aggressive, you slam a new gate, and you're playing a different type of game now. You're playing big body. You know.
And your Zoro has a huge target on his back,
Yeah.
which means your Nami and your Makino stay on the board, and that is a
Yeah.
combo that is just as legitimate as the Zoro.
Yeah. They have the same attack power together, you know.
They do, and so.
All right, we're gonna go swing 7.
7 at what?
That's a
is
good
the
question.
here. It looks like he's ready to protect it, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay, so we got out of
8.
it.
So that was either to Zoro or leader.
Zoro lead.
It looks like we're going in again.
Oh wow, yep. This isn't bad. We talked about and going leader, going down to 1.
All right.
Okay, getting
that was a jet pistol.
That was a jet pistol. No targets.
No targets.
All right.
But it was there, and that's what matters.
And our opponent, we're in lethal range. We're at 1 life against Kid. So
that's true.
Now the good news is we know that Yadam has a
Red Hawk,
and a Radical Beam. So it's going to be really easy to get at least one of those 12s, which means
probably ends the game.
Probably not the strategy that you're going to want to use, but
we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Seems like that's the one he's committed to here.
Yeah. Now we're going to play around the Punk Gibson by swinging 5s, which is very good.
I like that. Yeah.
With 2 Don up, it's pretty telegraphed that that's a Punk Gibson.
Yep. Punk Gibson here, you can rest the Zoro. It would be 1 card to get out of 2 attacks. So, I mean,
he's thinking about it, too. We see the Punk Gibson at the top of the hand. This is the last opportunity to really get this in.
It's a fair usage of Punk Gibson.
Yeah. Alternatively, we could have held the Gibson to try to hit a blocker that's played poorly.
Yeah.
Like a missequenced blocker, but we've seen Luffy has not been missequencing this game.
Yeah, no, he's been.
So he's probably not going to play into it like that.
He's been solid. So here's the question: is we want to leave up probably 3 Don, so all of our extra cards are online.
Yeah.
We have a lot of face cards. I see Luffy, Jet Pistol, Newgate. We have a lot of cards with no counter value.
That's not good.
We really need to be careful as to what we're putting on the board here. And we're just going to go, what is that, 9 lead?
Yep. That's
taking the damage. All right.
And we do, in fact, see 3 Don left up.
Oh, man.
We're going to hope to survive this turn.
Yep.
Kid is, of course, going to hope that he doesn't.
Yep. And we don't have a full 12. It looks like 9 Don, so the leader could swing twice for 11.
Yeah,
and
which is a good number.
We call this a gotta have it, right?
Yeah, put your opponent on a gotta have it. And it looks like he is, in fact, considering.
There we go.
There it is.
This is a gotta have it.
This is Kid going full metal, is what we like to call this. It's where you ignore the cards in your hand, and your leader just does what he does.
This is a real throwback. This is how we played Kid at the beginning of the game. Yeah.
As a Kaido player, I'm used to seeing this.
Exactly.
This is standard. I didn't know Kid actually had any character cards.
Exactly. Yeah. It's tough because you see your opponent leave 3 Don up. Is he bluffing? Does he have multiple event cards? Like, what is the outcome of this? But
with 4 cards on the board, I think that you're putting them on gotta have it one way or the other.
Oh, and he's leaving 2 up for the looks like another Gibson.
Another Gibson.
So
9 is all right too.
9. So this would be an event card plus an additional card.
Yep.
I think you take the first one, right? You kind of
you
trick
don't
him.
need to.
You don't think so? All right.
You don't necessarily need to.
So
it really depends on what you're thinking here. You take the second, you want to force the discard.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose not to take this one, that last life could be a Red Hawk, and it's just over.
That's true. And it looks like he did take that one.
He did take that one, which is good. Force the discard. It puts you in a very good position to win the game because your opponent has 1 less card in hand.
Yeah.
Now, he couldn't counter with that card anyway. It was a face card. But regardless.
All right. And, our opponents are 1 life. We have plenty of attacks. Here again, we just want to continue to play around Red Hawk to the best of Punk Gibson to the best of our abilities. Yep. And we're just going to attack for 5s. It was working. And then, we do have to guarantee that at least 2 of these swings hit. So
to be fair, though, he probably should have used the Red Hawk that turn and held the Radical Beam so he could Newgate this turn and still have that Radical Beam. Now his leader is a gosh,
his leader would
7 base plus 4
leader
is 11.
effect. Yeah.
And Kid can only swing 12 twice, so you need a 2K to get out of one of them.
Yep. All right, here we're going 7.
See, though, he's got to survive 2 attacks.
Yep.
And that might not be doable.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to 7 and 8. We have 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
So
we got a lot of Don, but we only have 1 attacker left without Rush. Now,
so,
our hand, as we just saw, has Zoro, has Luffy.
Yeah. Okay.
Luffy is definitely looking to close the game out this turn.
I agree.
His hand looks
your opponent is more or less locked into this Kid strategy here.
They are.
So you have to end the game because you can't survive 2 12s.
Yeah.
You want to play around Gibson by probably attacking with this Robin first. Okay, so
all right, we're gonna
equip. Oh no, that's wrong.
Good.
No, wait. How does he win? Oh, he has Zoro in hand. Okay.
He has a Zoro in hand.
All right, never mind. Excuse me. So you play the Zoro swing for 5, but then if your opponent gets a 2K, he can't get out of Luffy. Oh, what if there's a Punk Gibson in the life?
Uh-oh.
All right. All right. So we're swinging for 5. You got to take it. Is it Punk Gibson? Swing for 6, and it's not a 2K,
not a
and
Punk
Luffy
Gibson.
takes it.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That was a nail-biter there
Wow.
at the end.
That. So, yeah.
Good sequencing, but could have been punished.
Good sequencing. Could have gotten punished by a lucky get off the life there. It could have been a 2K getting out of the Luffy swing, or it could have been a Punk Gibson resting the Luffy.
Absolutely.
Now,
he was doing his best to play around Punk Gibson in hand instead of playing around Punk Gibson in life, which I agree with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your opponent left 2 up. Now, that leave 2 up was very smart on the Kid player's side. Even if he doesn't have it, that last life, if it is a Punk Gibson,
then you can still use it.
might be better used as a defense card if your opponent sequences correctly.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was just really clean aggro gameplay.
It was.
We saw, the Luffy player just going in. I mean, it was rough. The Kid player, he didn't really have like a lot of great options for defense in the early game. Like I said, he really needed something like a killer or even like an X-Drake at one point, because X-Drake would have killed the Zoro and then attacked. But I mean, he didn't play like after he played his initial 2 blockers. It was just leader. We call that the gotta have it. If I attack you for 12, and for whatever through a sequence of like drawing cards is RNG, right? Through whatever sequence, like you could have 10 cards in your hand, you might not be able to counter with a single one. We call that a gotta have it.
I mean, if it was a 2K off of the life,
he would have won.
He would have won.
Yeah,
because there was no getting out of it on Luffy's side, which is a testament to the Luffy player recognizing when I can't win this game by surviving another turn. I either win the game now or I've lost the game.
Yeah.
So very good. Very good plays all around. We did see Kid kind of struggle in the early game. Really had to rely on the leader because his hand was just a bunch of Sachis and Nikamamushis and not really anything all that playable.
Yeah. Now, because that was such a quick game, and we got Yadam here, I think we're going to pause real quick, hit a player interview, because, man, that game ended in like 10 minutes. It was so quick. So we're going to pause real quick, and then we'll be just right back with Yadam.
All right, and we are joined here with Yadam, the resident Luffy player from that.
Luffy enjoyer.
The Luffy enjoyer. Yadam, take us through your thoughts in that game.
I was terrified. This is the 3rd Eustace I play in this tournament, and I hate this matchup so much.
Wow. Somebody needs to tell you guys it's set 2.
I was like, so the other matchups, they went completely different. This is the first time I've seen this strategy in a very long time. But basically, he had all these like non-countered powered cards in his hand, and he said, I'm not going to have time to develop these while I deal with your board and hope to win off of that, because I did have 3 Whitebeards in hand. Like, if the game stalled, that guy was doomed. But because of his game plan, I was like, oh my god, he might actually destroy me. So he kept 2 up, which was really great, right? If he were able to hit a Punk Gibson in life, I was cooked. If he was able to get a 2K off of life, I was doomed, right? So I had to make sure to read the Punk Gibson at the end, because he had the 2 left. He had 1 card in hand, and I was like, well, if Punk Gibson can only rest a 3 or less, or a 4 or less, I decided, let me play the Luffy, and then go 5, and then, bait it and win off of that. Unfortunately, it had to go a little bit different. I had to get a little lucky, but that's One Piece sometimes.
That is how it goes.
That's
how it goes. So you're 4-1 now. What did you end up dropping a game to?
It was actually a local who was playing Eustace Captain Kid.
Okay, all right. So you got your revenge.
I did.
Was the catharsis good?
No, man, that matchup is so terrifying. It's because the 8 drop, right? Like, it forces you to have an answer. It's a stat check. The deck does what it wants to do, right? Like, you're playing red, so you want to hit the leader. They're resting all your cards, so you don't have hand advantage in this matchup. So you're hitting them, they gain hand advantage, and all of a sudden they're like, you're staring down this 8 drop, and it's like, do you have the answer?
Yeah.
And if you've pistoled at any time, if you've Otama at any time, which I try to hold, and everyone tries to hold as much as possible, if you don't have the Gordon or some sort of combo, you're going to be in a rough spot.
Absolutely.
So I think I played him, and I mulliganed because my hand was unplayable. He made me go on first, which is where I want to be. But my opening hand was triple Whitebeard, pistol, chopper, and I'm like, well, my next couple turns were 8, 10.
It's like that sometimes. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
So what deck do you think is going to win tomorrow?
Oh man, this is such a diverse meta. It's tough. It really is tough to say. I will say the deck to beat is Whitebeard. Whitebeard is such a strong deck, and that's kind of what pushed me into playing the Luffy deck, right? I was really, really wanting to play Zoro. If any of you guys check out my YouTube content, I've been playing a lot of Zoro lately, and I just played against Duval a lot, Andrew, and he just smacked me down. That matchup is not easy for Zoro, and I thought to myself, well, if everyone's going to be doing this, then I don't think I can do this.
You're supposed to say Luffy because you're playing Luffy.
Oh, no. Oh, true. Yes, Luffy is going to win. It's
Where's
me.
your confidence?
No, I guess, well, I never said what deck was going to be. I just said the deck to beat is Whitebeard. And whoever can do it, that's why Eustace Captain Kid is coming up. Copium. Luffy's coming back into the meta. Dolphy saw such a popularity in this meta is because that Whitebeard character is such a...
6 is big.
6 is big. Plus the ability that it's just like, the game is now at my tempo, right?
Yep.
I'm drawing 6 and I'm drawing 5, and you better beat me with 20 cards in hand and constant pressure, brother.
All right, Yadam. Well, this was round 5, which means you have about 17 more.
A long day to go.
So don't let that fatigue get to you, and
No,
hopefully
sir.
we will see you again tomorrow in Top Cut.
I'm hoping on it. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Join us again. We'll be back very soon with round 6, and please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other YouTube stuff. See you soon.